Some years don't pass. They don't simply come and go. They arrive, sit with you, change your shape and stay.
Have you ever wanted to read a letter that was meant for someone else? Have you ever wanted to travel the world but didn't have the time or the money? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to In My Voice, the podcast where we read letters and share travel stories about places by our guests. I am your host, Bonaheri, and each week I'll guide you through these two different yet fascinating worlds. In the first segment, we'll read letters written to listeners like you about a variety of subjects, from heartwarming stories to heartbreaking experiences. These letters offer a unique perspective on the human experience. Some of them will make you laugh, while the others will bring a tear to your eye. But they all have one thing in common. They are written from the heart. In the second segment, we will embark on a journey to explore the world through travel stories. We'll visit exotic destinations, meet interesting people, and experience the joys and challenges of traveling. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or someone who's always dreamed of seeing the world, you will find something to inspire you in these stories. So, join me every week as we dive into these two fascinating worlds. In My Voice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode.
Hello, In My Voice family. Welcome back to the In My Voice podcast, the podcast where we hold space for things we feel too deeply but can't say out loud. My name is Bonaheri, and I'm happy to welcome you to the fourth season of the In My Voice podcast. This is my first episode of 2026, and I'm not here to relive everything that happened last year. I'm here to speak about what it left behind. If you are listening while carrying something heavy from a year that changed you, loss, disappointment, quiet grief, this is an episode for you. Let's talk. And before we go any further, I want to slow us down for a moment. Because when we talk about years that mark us, we are really talking about the moments that quietly changed how we breathe, how we love, how we move through the world. Let's talk about what happens when loss enters your life. Loss doesn't knock loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, suddenly becomes part of your daily language. It teaches you things no one prepares you for. How silence can be loud, how memories can hurt and heal at the same time, how absence can feel physical. If you've ever lost someone and felt like the world kept moving without your permission, you know what I'm talking about. Grief doesn't mean you are weak. It means you loved deeply. And love, when it loses a place to land, has to learn a new way to exist. That's the part people understand in theory. But it becomes very real when loss stops being something you witness and becomes something you carry. And last year, 2025, I learned that firsthand. For me, 2025 marked me through the loss of my mother. I won't go into the details today. Some moments are too sacred, too heavy to replay out loud. But there are ordinary moments that still catch me off guard. Like reaching for my phone to call her instinctively and then remembering. Not dramatically, but just a quiet pause that settles in my chest. That she is no longer here. Losing her changed how I see time, responsibility, and love. It taught me that goodbye doesn't always come with a warning. That some conversations become memories without your consent. And that people we lean on most are often the ones we never imagined living without. Since then, I move differently, I listen more, I feel deeper. And I understand now that grief doesn't end. It becomes something you learn to carry. What follows that kind of loss isn't clarity. It's not strength the way we imagine it. It's something else. Something quieter, heavier, and unexpected. Because grief doesn't ask if you are ready. It simply hands you the responsibility. Grief introduces you to the kind of strength you never applied for. Not the bold, motivational kind. The quiet kind that shows up because it has to. There were moments when my heart was heavy, but life kept asking questions. Decisions needed answers. People needed direction. The world didn't pause. And somehow, I kept moving. Not because I was ready, but because stopping wasn't an option. That's when I learned. Strength isn't about having it together. Sometimes it's about showing up incomplete and still continuing. And when you are carrying grief like that, unfinished, unsteady, you start to notice something else. You begin to notice who stands near you and who quietly steps away. Loss reveals people. On that fateful day, I announced the passing of my mother through a WhatsApp status. Because, of course, you can't reach out to everybody and you need your friends to know without having to call each and everyone, because in that moment, things are hard. Some friends saw my status and reached out. Others saw it too. They viewed it and said nothing. What hurt wasn't just the silence. It was something. It was watching some of them later comment on my other statuses, laugh at jokes, engage like nothing happened. And that's a strange kind of pain. Realizing that someone can witness your lowest moment and choose distance. I learned this the hard way. Not everyone who calls you friend knows how to sit with grief. And while that realization hurts, it also clarifies. Presence is love's loudest language. After the noise fades, after people return to their routines, you're left with a very real question. How do you keep living with something that doesn't leave? That's where coping begins. Not as a solution, but as a practice. Because grief doesn't finish. It evolves. You don't just move on. You adjust. You learn how to live with what will always be part of you. What helped me cope wasn't pretending to be strong. It was allowing myself to be human. Praying even when the words felt heavy. Letting safe people see my tiredness. Accepting help without guilt. Allowing joy to return without apologizing. Some days I did all of this. Other days, none of them. That's still okay. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is remembering without being destroyed by it. And somewhere in that process, between pain and persistence, you start to notice what the year has actually given you. Not lessons you asked for, but truths you can't unlearn. Last year taught me that time is fragile. That love should be expressed often. That silence can be loud. And that faith doesn't erase pain. It gives it somewhere to rest. Some years don't pass. They mark you. They change your priorities. They soften you. They shape who you become next. So, as we close this episode, I want to speak directly to the part of you that's still carrying something from a year that changed you. Because if you are still standing, still listening, still breathing, then you are doing more than you think. If you are starting this year marked by a loss, disappointment, or a quiet grief, I see you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. Maybe today, just take a moment to name what marked you. Think about it. Not to fix it, not to rush past it, just to acknowledge it. Be gentle with yourself. Carry what you must. Release what you can't. Some years don't pass. They mark you, and somehow we keep going. My name is Bona Harry, and this is In My Voice. Until next time, stay kind, stay human.